Reach Rising Faith Forever tarot readings. And I'm going to do a Starseed card. So these are going to be for the air signs. They're going to be 3 growth and release cards with clarifying cards and a Starseed. Before we get started, I'm going to light some sage. Starting to feel a little bit more energy returning to me. Yesterday and I don't know, lately I've just sort of been in a, like, how can I say this? Sort of like back and forth between being unemotional and too emotional. That makes sense. It's like, I have no problem with like I did drama and theater arts in school and stuff, so like I got no problem acting emotion and, you know, really feeling it on a fantasy level. But sometimes in my reality, I won't be emotional over the right things, or I'll just be more repressed. Like, I don't know when to, like, always stand up for myself emotionally, if that makes sense. I'm getting better at that. Like, I've been going through my birth chart, and this is just one, oh, staple with me. This is just one I printed off from Astrology Cafe. It's just cool. Gives you like a breakdown. I've got Aquarius in my Saturn, as well as in my 4th house. So that's interesting. What is 4th house again? Oh, I dropped my thing. I'm still new with a lot of this stuff. I'm starting to remember it a little better, but it'll take some time. Okay, my 4th house is the area of home, family roots, and deep emotion, sense of self-worth. And that's an Aquarius. As well as Saturn is an Aquarius. Long-term studies, and if circumstance can allow, she will teach herself. Yeah, sounds like me. She is serious and mythological in work, perhaps liking to visit elderly and intellectuals to enrich her mind. Very true. So in family, home, and roots, deep emotion, she may leave the family home reasonably young. She loves liberty, wanting a life that is out of the ordinary, or breaking the usual traditions, and certainly one that does not mimic the ancestors or parents. Yes. And it's not that I don't like my ancestors or my parents or what they've done. I have deep love and admiration for them. It's more so that they are them and I recognize I'm different. Like, I want to be different. Like, that's just my whole, it's not even like I'm trying to either. It's just like, I just naturally, I guess I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart too. I'm just naturally a little bit of like, I'm going to find a new way to do it. Like, even if it's the same thing, I'll find a new way to do it. I want that individuality. It makes me feel unique and special, which I like because I've always sort of been like sort of singled out and had to be that. So I guess like I mean, I can come together and work with others, but like then my ability to just kind of go with the flow takes over, and then I feel like I'm not as much as an individual. So as much as I like to work with others and I have those skills that I can, it really is sometimes projects that are more intimate, or, you know, that I'll feel the best about, if that makes sense. So Aquarius is all about friendships, They often put themselves ahead of others. So, yeah, and this is, we're coming into the Aquarius birthday, so all the energies for the whole month will be in Aquarius, and that affects us all and our placements in our charts. But more so for Aquariuses, it'll be a heightened time of new groups forming, new friendships, new alliances, just like a new way to do that with the current, or so just be careful not to like lose yourself in that time period. Breathe all the way in. Breathe all the way out. Breathe all the way in. Breathe all the way out. Breathe all the way in. Breathe all the way out. Breathe all the way in. Breathe all the way out. Breathe all the way in. And breathe all the way out. How do we feel? I kind of talked up. Aquarius a bit in my intro. I'm still working out my overall consistency. Personally, I mean, consistency is good, but I mean, it can be just as good as inconsistency in some ways. Like, it just really depends. Right now, I don't mind the inconsistency so much because I'm not set in any sort of way to do it. So I like experimenting for the time being. Eventually, I will come to like the way I really like to do it, and then that will be consistent. Okay, so I'm going to timestamp for Aquarius. Hello Aquarius, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me get you out your little thing I made you. Hello Aquarius. How was your new year? I hope you guys are enjoying the new energy that will be coming in for you guys in February. It hasn't really come in yet, but just the overall excitement of it coming, because it's soon. So we're going to do a 3-card growth and release for you to help usher in this new year, 2022, for January. I know I'm doing these a bit late, but it's roughly a little over halfway through the month, so if it's resonated with you earlier on, then it can just be confirmation that it's happening and underway. Or it could just receive you now where you are. So then, okay, what was I saying? You can tell it's a retrograde. Normally I don't get this lost in thought. Yeah, you just, yeah, that card popped out and then it totally gave me fish brain. Oh, yeah, so yeah, since your birthday is coming up, you could be excited about that. Like, come on. Oh, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, yes, I was saying a 3-card growth and release spread with clarifying cards and a star seed card for Aquarius, 2022 January, for the highest good. Actually, put this one back. I didn't say for your highest good. Maybe it's not for your highest good. Aquarius, 2022 January, highest good. Aquarius, 2022 January, for the highest good. The King of Pentacles. So the Queen made an appearance, and the King is here. And the Knight of Wands. Why is my King of Pentacles so benty? There we go. My OCD is flaring up. My cards are all ripped and bent. Well, they're not ripped, but they're starting to get a little bit weird on the sides. But I don't want to. It's relatively a new. Well, I've had it for, I guess, a couple of years now. Still, I'm sad. I don't like it. I don't like good vibes. I don't like good vibes. Okay, so Aquarius. I'm feeling like in a better mood today. Yesterday I was like in such a bad mood. But like that's the way life is. It's like you'll have the worst day, and then the next day it'll be good because it's like it can't get any worse than you know. And it's not like nothing bad happened. It was just like sort of like a day where it felt like a lot of like returns, like past memories, just things that we bury, and then all of a sudden, you know, one day when we're not expecting it, and then boom, it's there and covered, and you have no chance to look at it. So that's just one of those things. So the first card we have in our no position is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is all about stability, structure, or sorry, fours are all about stability, structure, organization, and stagnation. So right now you know that you're in a period of stability and structure. The organization you're with, or just some organization within yourself, within your environment, it's all been good. The only thing that stagnation kind of feels like it's so good that there's no room for something maybe new. Maybe you could be feeling a little bit like that. And the growing position we have, well, I'm getting carried away now. Four of Wands is if you don't have a good time, it's your own silly fault. Celebrating income, accumulation of events, or achieving a goal. So, if this card is in company with Lovers, Hierophant, Two of Cups, Ten of Cups, a wedding may be in your future. Also, if you paired with just this card, it could mean civil ceremony, type of marriage coupled with a celebratory party. You know, when I see this card, I think of like get-togethers, like birthdays, celebrations, basically. So you could be, you know that there's something to celebrate, Aquarius, In the growing position, we have the King of Pentacles. So perhaps this King of Pentacles will provide some sort of role towards that. The energy could be within yourself that's growing, or it could be a growing awareness of the outside influence of this king. We have no more, and the King of Pentacles is sort of quote, is we have no more right to consume happiness without producing it than to consume wealth without producing it. Someone who is driven by the physical world, resources, and finances. And when I think of this card, I think the king is all about equal give and take. In the way where it's like, and a lot of times that might come off in a way where it's like, well, if they want equal give and take, they're not willing to sacrifice anything, like give more. If they're not willing to give more, then do they love me? Or do they, well, love me, but, or do, you know, is it like, I guess in love it could be that way, but more so, the king is actually very, very much, he wouldn't approach something that he didn't believe in or care about. Like he cares very much for all his subjects, what he does, the wealth he creates it for the happiness. There's a duality there. He creates wealth so that he can produce more enjoyment out of life. And this king cares so much. And again, with kings, it's like that masculine element of a little more strictness. It's like they expect you to embody that as well. They appreciate the fact that you put in that equal give and take. They would feel probably a little bit taken advantage of if there wasn't equal give and take. So this could be your energy, or it could be an energy outside of yourself. And in the let go position, no, grow, go, we have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands, I assure you, I don't need to read those hieroglyphics in order to conquer the situation. Someone who acts on will, inspiration, or passion. Okay, so there could be this really passionate person. And when I think of the Knight of Wands, she's sort of like the type of person that will kind of travel somewhere else to learn about a different land in order to find herself. And oftentimes, the Knight of Wands, it's either you could want to be mentored in a new field, or they want to be mentored, sort of. Or even if they don't come out and say they want to be mentored, it's sort of like a little bit of that energy. It's like either you are looking to somebody to learn more about something, or someone's looking to you to learn more about something. In the let go position, it's either you've already let go of it, or you will, or it could be that you've let go and you need to reclaim it. It could be a few things. So I'm going to get a clarifying card on these to get some extra inspiration there. Because I feel like with these two people in these positions, a little bit more definitely is needed right now. So please give me something on the Four of Wands for Aquarius. Oh, and here the Queen of Pentacles made an appearance. So you know that this Queen of Pentacles, whether it's yourself or someone else, and it's cause for celebration. I think, Aquarius, it could be you, like the Queen of Pentacles, like you're this powerhouse type of person. all the nurturing, like you're a catch type of thing. And you have a lot to celebrate. Give me something on the King of Pentacles. A Page of Cups. Page of Cups. Alright, give me something on the Knight of Wands, please. Knight of Wands. Give me something. Well, I'm having a bunch of cards flip. And it's a bunch of people, like, I keep, like, that was the Knight of Cups, and you've got the Page of Cups there. Give me something on the Knight of Wands, though, please. Okay, Three of Swords. Let go. Okay, so you've let go of this broken heart. Aquarius is like, no more broken heart. Like, I don't even want to think about my broken heart. Like it hurts. I don't want to spend time there. I want to go out and socialize, kind of thing. So the Queen of Pentacles in the no position for you is let your inner light be reflected in the outer world. Loveliness is next to godliness. So yes, you know that you've reclaimed someone who supports and nurtures the physical world, resources, and finances. So you've reclaimed your happiness and your support. You're nurturing your physical world, which is bringing in resources and finances to you. The Queen of Pentacles is like an entrepreneur, business person. She's not going to do business with things that she don't deem as successful or a use of her time, money, resource. And in the growing position, along with that King of Pentacles, you have this Page of Cups. So this Page of Cups is Juliet was a poser, someone who was ready to try something new in emotions, relationships, or art. So when they say that is in the story of Romeo and Juliet, Romeo was a little bit more honest in his love the whole while. Like, he just sort of made honest decisions based on what he wanted. And Juliet was a little bit more, she loved him still, but she was also in love with the idea of having it all good, making sure her reputation and things were clued up before she could go for that. And because of that, perhaps that's why the story ended in tragedy, because she was just trying to have it all good and look the best in all areas. She cared a lot about what others thought, whereas Romeo didn't. So one is more honest in love, one isn't. So the Page recognizes that difference and is bold enough to say one is more in love than the other. So they both loved each other. It's just one was more immature in that love than the other, as represented in that story as such. But this person knows what they love. Perhaps this person is growing on you or within you. Could be an outside person, or it just could be something within yourself. It seems like you're good physically in the world. It just seemed maybe this Page is reminding you to put a little bit more honesty there within your heart, your love. Like, just keep doing that. Like, you're gonna bring, and again, this is a time of socializing a lot. Like, Aquarius energy affects us all in that we're going to meet new grouping, new friends, new partners, things like that. Like, lots of new stuff. So for you, Aquarius, like, that's all news for you. Like, you already know that it's no secret that Aquarians have lots of friends, lots of people. So I think that you keep this King energy people around because you really care about your physical world, your businesses, your things. But also you're understanding that there's more to life, there's more to happiness than just always having a bunch of friends or the perfect home or the perfect job. Like, sometimes, like, you need some sort of extra fulfillment, like a spiritual practice, a meditation, or maybe a hobby, or maybe you're needing just like a new type of person to inspire you. So that could be why the page is represented here. It's a new connection, a growing sense of this new connection that's linked to emotion, cups. The Three of Swords in let go position, you're a broken heart. The misuse of tools can lead to a mickle mess. Perhaps this Knight of Wands had something to do with that. Maybe their passions, maybe you took on some of that and that left you a little brokenhearted. Three of Swords. Sorrow caused by knowledge. I'm going to read this Knight of Wands for you, just to give you more of an idea of who this is to you. The Knight of Wands is intensely passionate. The passion fuels her will and colors her actions, which are bold and large. But the appearance of confidence, engaging her in dedication does not take long. Unlike the Swords, she does not require a convincing argument. Unlike the Cups, she does not dreamingly consider what might be or might have been. And unlike the Pentacles, she does not need any sort of plan. Yes, getting her to throw in with you won't take long, but if you don't catch her fancy immediately, she will lose interest. She responds to a spark that resonates within her, and there is no way of knowing ahead of time what will create that magic chord. For this night, the fire of the desert and the mysteries of the ancient culture capture her heart, mind, and soul. In it, she sees the very qualities she desires for herself. Indeed, she probably already has them, but does not yet realize it, though. Although she doesn't know it, Egypt is playing the role of a mirror for her. And so her relationship with Egypt is not necessarily with Egypt itself. She is not really in love with Egypt. She is in love with the qualities of that land and that time, and she wants to see it in herself. She does not want to conquer and own Egypt and all that it represents within herself. Oh wait, she does want to conquer and own Egypt and all that it represents within herself. Unfortunately, she does not fully understand that, therefore, sets out to capture a metaphor. So this is already something that's inside of her, but she's looking for some outside role play, stimulus to kind of play that, he or she. If this night comes into your life, don't be fooled by the appearance of confidence. Know that it is actually termination. Yeah, the termination is different than confidence. She is looking for something within herself, but has focused her search internally. By paying attention to what captures her attention, you can discern what she really wants. You can help her discover it within herself. You will not only have done another human a great service, you will have won a devoted, passionate, and brave friend. So in the let go position, maybe this is a friend to you or somebody important to you, a connection of some sort, that you thought you had to let go, or there's aspects of that relationship you have to let go of. Otherwise, you know, you're going to have that broken heart, like the Three of Swords. It's like, maybe you're approaching things from the Cups, like it says here. Unlike the Cups, she does not dreamingly consider what might be. Unlike the Pentacles, she doesn't need some sort of plan. Unlike the Sword, she does not need a convincing argument. So maybe these are the normal ways that you normally get together with people. Like you would like to hang out with swordsy types, where convincing arguments and plans, if that's how you communicate and connect. And then you have your Cups people that are dreamy, what might be or what might have been, and you go to them for that clarity over different things. And then you have your Pentacle people who like plans, following stable stability action. But this Knight of Wands has indeed captured your interest. They're teaching you something about passion, about risk-taking, about kind of going for the gold. And the gold represented by this land of Egypt for her. It's like, or him. The gold is already within them, but they're looking for an outside confirmation of that. It's like they're looking for a place where they belong. And perhaps that takes precedence over mutuality in the relationship. So perhaps they're on this like conquest, and you kind of feel a little used, like, or dragged along for the ride. There is something to learn from this, but you have to let go of that broken heart. And if you're not able to, then consider distancing yourself from the relationship altogether for a time to kind of think things over until you can engage. And feel that out for yourself. It's not something that I am telling you to do. It's something that you should already kind of be like resonating with and feeling like that already. And then these are just options you can take. But there is a lot of socializing. Like, sometimes the hardest thing to grasp is the thing we'll focus more on. So don't, you know, this Page of Cups too, you know, like, you know, this is a good friend, and so is this King of Pentacles. Like, these energies that represented here could be a bunch of different people in your life. So you have groups and circles of friends that you can rely on. It's just this element has probably been frustrating for you, because it seems like all your regular ways of setting up a friendship just didn't work on this person. It seems, and you kind of felt like, well, are they using me, or are they not interested? And it's probably none of those things. It's just, they probably are interested in you. They probably do value. It's just that they're really preoccupied with this journey that they are on and finding their place. So that's probably why they feel they can't meet you as an equal in that way, and that's why they're not focused there in that way others probably have with you. Perhaps they are trying to find their own strength, like you're a queen and you have kings and you have lots of people that you're helping, so you're like, well, why doesn't this knight want my help? Like, but they're like in between, like they're just probably trying to be more independent. They're trying to prove that they can do it on their own, maybe. And then you kind of feel like, well, then do they not need me? Like, maybe that kind of, like, you know, as Aquarius, you like to be in service. You like to pour that cup. And this person's probably not always honest about what cup they want. They could be a little contradictive in you know, like maybe that you heard from someone that they like Clamato juice, let's just say. So you go and get them a nice glass of Clamato juice, and then they tell you, I didn't want Clamato juice. And you're like, oh, I thought you liked Clamato juice. And then they're probably like, I do, but I only like it in the mornings. Like right now, it's later in the evening. I just want a glass of water. And then you're like, whoa, why would you just be difficult? I just tried to do something nice to you, for you. And maybe that person didn't intend to be as like that, but perhaps it came off like that. Perhaps that's where the brokenheartedness is. It just sort of feels like you're constantly extending the cup to this person. And cup is like emotion, or maybe a pentacle. Or maybe ideas. Like perhaps you're giving all of that to them, and their passion is just sort of burning it all. Because, yeah, they could be a bit preoccupied, confused, and determined. So, understand for yourself, is that like, can you be impartial and sort of just, if you've been giving too much because you were hyper-focused, maybe dial it back. Just give a little bit less than you have been, and then see how they take notice of that. And don't get them like full-on whiplash if you care about this person, but like kind of just dial it back to a comfortable level for yourself of what you're able to give and receive. Maybe that king friend might tell you that, like, you know, maybe dial it back. Just, you know, see what she's willing to give, or he's willing to give in return. And the goal is not maybe to see what you can get. The goal is just to kind of, if you want to witness this person's journey, just kind of dial it back to a comfortable level. Like something, don't give more than you can give without feeling resentful. That way, no matter how it plays out, you won't be so lost or so wounded or feel like there's so much you lost or that hurt. Or like, you know, misuse of tools and sorrow caused by, maybe you might feel a bit like you failed, like you could have done more. So that's what I'm trying to say, like don't get caught up in those emotions. Instead just sort of witness it and let it unfold. That's how you're going to see what they really want. And it's, you know, this year, 2022, is all about adventure. So this person provides, or maybe a few people, maybe this person, since you have so many friends, maybe this could represent a few people that embody the energies of each year. Like, so yeah. But don't let this person, like it's in the let go position, so don't let this consume and take away from everything else you're doing. The celebratory time, you being the Queen of Pentacles, you having this King of Pentacles, friendships, and these Page of Cups, friendships. And the Page is like emotion. It's like you can reject a little bit of your own emotion. Like you might help others through their emotion with your reason, your logic, and that's why you probably have all these little novice-y little pages come in and you have a symbiotic relationship. But perhaps pay more attention to these Pages of Cups, the emotions that they have. Maybe there's something you can grow in understanding your own emotion. Perhaps maybe that's why you're having such a tough time with this Knight of Wands person in the let go position. Perhaps it's like you haven't really deciphered a lot of that emotional growth within yourself. So that's why when things are frustrating with this person, you're not used to having it so difficult with your social groups or people. So perhaps that's really frustrating. You're beating yourself up and you're experiencing all these emotions you're not really used to holding on to. And that's caused like Three Swords to kind of wedge you and like kind of slow down the clock. And it's like time has stopped and all you can see is this person. So get out of your head with that, is what I would say. And get back into your emotion. And really figure out, okay, well, what drew me to this person in the first place? Is it something I can take a step back and sort of witness? It's like you wouldn't, like if you were watching a painter paint a canvas, you wouldn't get there and backseat paint, like, oh, put more color here, do this there, do that there. Because then the artist might give up the painting or, you know, might you know, not even listen to you, might just keep painting their way. And then you might not understand what they're doing, but then when it's finished, you might really enjoy the painting. But you're not enjoying the process. So I don't really want to say cut this person or people out, because let go just means you've let go of it, or you've realized or I read it this way, that I read it with duality, because the messages will resonate with different types of Aquarius is more so that way. Because different people, based on different other aspects in their chart, will be on different sides of things. So, obviously, if you felt brokenhearted and had to let go of it, it meant something to you. So sit with that emotion and figure out what does it mean to me? What am I gaining from it? And don't give more than what you're gaining. Equal give and take. Like, be present for as long as it's good and take a step back when you need to. But this person potentially could teach you something about passion and risk-taking and just going for it and the determination it takes. So there could be something and there could not. So just feel that out for yourself, okay, Aquarius? And I'm going to get you out your Star Secret because I didn't get it out this time. So Aquarius, growth and release, 2022, January, for their highest good, please. one yesterday. You're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, and community. Yeah, like that came out, like, it made an appearance quickly for Cappy too, but I pulled it for Virgo and read it, so I didn't really want to read the same card twice. So go back and watch Virgo's reading in the Earth signs at the very end of it. So you could hit Capricorn and then just go back a few minutes, and you'll get the interpretation for this card. I'm going to draw another card for you. I think I meant to pick the middle one anyway. I just accidentally grabbed that card and then I went with it. But that's funny, pulling the same card. So isolation, it seems to be a running theme, but you're not alone. You're not alone, Aquarius. You're not alone in this. You're not alone in these new discoveries, new journey, your new passions. Like, that's a lot for people to go through. You're not alone in that. But lifting the veil, this one seems much more for you. Lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. So here we go. This is a very beautiful looking card. It's like she's opening these beautiful, almost translucent curtains, and she's looking out at this beautiful big sun. And the way it is that we can see almost the whole sun from the cosmic view. Or perhaps it's not the sun. It actually looks like the planet Venus. And I see remnants of cities, an exploding atom bomb here, like a mushroom cloud. Tanks blowing up stuff on one side of the curtain. Some alien shit. You guys probably think I'm crazy right now. Oh, and like all the smoke and stuff coming out. That looks like Notre Dame. Okay, I gotta show you this card. There's a lot of like illusions inside the card. Let me see if I can show you. Okay, see the city with these tall towers? There's so many tall towers. It's like in competition, who's taller? And then boom, fighting causes mushroom cloud. And then we have bridges that look broken. And it looks like it's falling on the city. Then we have like fighting below the bridge, which probably caused that bridge to come down, like tanks and stuff, opposing forces. Then over here, it's like you see that little spaceship with the beam. So it's like abduction. And then we've got smoke emitting from pollution, right? And then an unsuspecting, quiet little town, and in here it looks like Notre Dame. So it's like two sides of the coin. It's like whether we're aggressive or about life destroying the planet, or we're just living in peace, focusing on religion and stuff, and just living our best life. But yet, boom, living our best life creates pollution. So no matter what we do, it's going to create some cost, some consequence, some causation, some karma in the universe. And this abduction, this alien abduction, I mean, if everything's going to hell, so to speak, you probably would want to be abducted just to get out of it, get out of Dodge. So allow yourself to be taken up by the foreign things that you're interested in. Or maybe you have been abducted or felt like you were abducted. See, these are two curtains, and both seem like different aspects of the same thing. But then if you look in the middle where she's looking, it seems like she understands. She's a being of light and dark, and she has stars of ideas. And we see the birds flying like a new day. These beautiful floral fields of flowers. Can you see this? And this beautiful flowing waterfall, these trees. And I believe that's Venus. I'm going to say it's Venus. Focus on what you love. Yes, focus on what you love. What's this behind the curtain here? See that little red stuff? I don't know. There'd be red stuff here if it was the planet. I don't know. Maybe it's like a dragon, like something. So maybe daydream until you can actually get there. Like, I think this is her knowing she's sort of trapped inside, but she's sort of like, you know what? I'm just going to open the curtains today and look at the sun, look at what I love, look at Venus, you know, and dream about all the beautiful possibilities of where to go next. Because the minute she is able to leave that house, because of all that dreaming she's done, she's going to have a clear view of where she's going. She's leaving the harshness of the world, and she's focusing on her own. That's kind of beautiful, Aquarius. So, lifting the veil. I haven't read this card before. Some of them I've read, but I kind of like to be surprised with you guys, like we give my first impression. I haven't done this one before. Lifting the veil. Lifting the veil. Oh my, I'm such a goofball today. Okay, lifting the veil, lifting the veil, the veil. Where is it? The veil, the veil. All hail the veil. Oh man. I'm trying to fill the silence here nervously while I'm looking. Okay, here we go. Lifting the veil. Questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. Things aren't always as they seem. This era is one of uncovering mistruths, so we can remember ancient truths. Everything is in a state of recall and realignment. Anything that isn't in harmony with the planet will not survive. This goes for society and the world at large, as well as in our own lives. If you pull this card, you're being called to energetically scan your life for things that may no longer be a vibrational match for who you are and how you've grown. To dismantle the systems and ways of being that once served you and others but no longer do. Some star seeds are here to lift the veil between the seen and unseen worlds, to shine a light on things that are unauthentic or unaligned with the survival and well-being of the earth, to stand for and protect those who don't have a voice, to look deeper and question everything that previous generations did not. Some star seeds cannot tolerate things that aren't congruent. They are here to bring society and humanity back to into harmony with the planet and the Creator at large. If we tolerate things in our life that aren't aligned and congruent with it, we add to the misalignment of the planet. You're being called to trust yourself, notice what's out of alignment, and then take the baby steps required to bring it back into harmony. This is not an easy feat, but it is so worthwhile, both individually and for the planet. Starseed Soul Inquiry. What isn't congruent in your life? How are you being called to bring it back into harmony? Okay. With this card, it adds some yeah, maybe this Knight of Wands has become too dependent on what you have to give. And perhaps you need to let go of it because it's causing you a lot of pain. Or maybe this person actually is breaking your heart because maybe this person is affecting your other relationships. Maybe this person has caused war a lot of who you are in your life. And perhaps you've had to let that go, release the broken heart, to focus on you're an awesome Queen of Pentacles and you have a lot to celebrate. You have all this people that you have, and you're going to attract more. So yeah. Wow, I gave you guys a good read. I think it's a good read. I think if you needed that confirmation for some of Aquariuses right now, I think that is exactly pretty much what you guys need right now. So that's lovely. Love you, Aquariuses. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to drop that. It's a retrograde. It's not my fault. Okay. It's everyone's fault. It's the universe's fault. But if we can make things go wrong, we can make things go right. So there's confidence there. So now I'm going to timestamp for Libra. Hello, Libra. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. My Libras. I believe I have Libra in an aspect of my chart. I'm going to read it to you guys just so you can kind of see how the different energies actually work for you guys. So I have Libra in my 12th house. Is that the only place I have Libra? Yes, I believe so. I was actually looking through my birth chart, and there's no sign I don't have in any type of placement. I have them all in some placement. Libra is in my 12th house. And 12th house The 12th house is the area of education and of emotion. This is where we meet our karma, deal with endings, and sometimes where we bury things. Doesn't always bring luck. Honors come as she imagined they might. I bury things in Libra. Balance. Libra's all about balance, so I guess, yeah. I forget. Excuse me. Excuse me. I have, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I feel like I have all the signs that give me a heightened sense of OCD. It's like I kind of want, that's why I love art, because I have full control. I can just have my own little world and characters, you know, say and do the right things. They always, like, turn around and do the right thing in a predictable way where it's like I know it'll happen. Like I'm not left, like this happens in real life too, but it's just that never in that predictable way that I guess. I think Libras can sometimes want to balance things for themselves so much that maybe they can become a bit blind to the balance of others. Perhaps they're so good at balancing for themselves it misinterprets to the fact when they think they have to balance everything for others. When it should always be a journey first. I mean, yes, if you've got kids and stuff, you gotta be responsible for them and things, but you should always be mainly concerned with your own balance. You can still be sociable and offer advice. Be careful with unsolicited advice. Like, sometimes we want to kind of give advice where we see, but sometimes people won't receive it well or don't want it even. So, that being said, I'm going to do a 3-card growth and release reading for Libra, January 2022 for the highest good. Please and thank you. Libra 2022, January highest good. Growth and release for Libra. I'm gonna be so sad when this deck falls apart on me. I actually really like this deck. It has sort of an arty and edgy kind of way about it. That works for me. Libra, growth and release, 2022, January for the highest good, please. Hairs everywhere. Libra, growth and release, 2022, January, for the highest good. Whoa, the whole deck. Oh, my cards are getting beat up and hitting the floor so much. Perhaps I shouldn't shuffle them so much anymore. Maybe that'll help keep them longer. I mean, I will shuffle them. I just mean, maybe not wait for cards to kind of fall out like that. Maybe I'll just kind of give them a shuffle, set my intention. Okay, so Libra, growth and release, 2020. Okay. Alright, we got it. So, maybe, I'll try to keep it consistent for this video, but, and maybe for the water signs, and then maybe I'll just do it a different way. Because I'm starting to really mess up my cards and hitting the ground, and, like, here, I'll show you what I mean. Like, you see how the side of the card is starting to ruffle? And I'm worried they're going to completely split, and they're pretty glassy. Like, they're not glassy, but, you know, they're shiny. Like, they're not. But the edges are, like, kind of coming up. And I do have this deck bought twice, but this one's a smaller version. The other cards are slightly bigger. And my hands are really small, so I like to shuffle a smaller size deck. A lovely card at the bottom, by the way. Ace of Cups, so. New beginnings. Overflowing with love. Love. Actually, Venus rules Libra. Or, yeah. So yeah, love. So growth and release for Libra, 2022 for January. The highest good. Cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of light. I believe I've read that for you before, Libras, in a few of my other videos. Maybe you need the lesson again, but I already read this one recently for the fire signs, and I read it for Leo. So go back and hit Sagittarius, and then just go back a little bit, because it's right at the end of Leo, or you could watch the whole Leo video. Maybe it's hinting to something there. I'm not going to read it again for you, but I'm just going to say, Rock Bottom, Serenity, Alchemy of Life, cracked open. So go back and check the fire signs video. And yeah, if you want to know the meaning of that card, as I think the message here will relate to you. And I really, really enjoyed that Leo message. I talked about like the ugly duckling story, and it's just a really good, this is all storytelling, so I advise anyone who's interested or enjoys their time with me to watch them all. Because like I said, I have a well-balanced amount of signs in all my positioning, so I like to watch them all for me because it relates to me as well as I'm an enthusiast. But, you know, just kind of play with the energy, kind of feel what works. So now I'm just going to make a decision between these two. Feel this one. The courageous, what is it? The courageous phony, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. Okay, let's go with that. There we go. So I'll do card now after. So for your growth and release spread, in your no position, you have 2. 2 is duality, balance, relationship, choices. So you know the dualities, you know the balance, and you know your relationships, and you know your choices. But the 2 of Pentacles speaks to balance in sometimes a way that is not sustainable. She is riding a bicycle over the waves, over the water. And the core message here is, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Maintaining balance. The infinity symbol represents the life chain. Meaning, she is really, really, really thinking she can keep this up for as long as she needs to. And perhaps she can maintain balance. But I'm going to read this card for you guys. Just take a bit of time. Merely riding one of those penny farthing bicycles would be hard enough, but to ride it across the water seems impossible. How and why is she compelled to do this? The answer isn't simple. But the Lemonscape holds the key to the mystery here. We've seen this before in the Magician, the High Priestess, and the Strength cards. This interesting symbol represents the infinite flow of the universe. We're talking about the infinity symbol. In tarot, it usually speaks to the union of, or the relationship between, opposites. In the Magician, there is a relationship between the above and below terms, as in as above, so below. In the Strength, we see the delicate dance between the self and the shadow self. In the 2 of Pentacles, we see the relationship between the available resources, such as time and energy, and the perceived need. She exerts great will and strength, reminiscent of the Magician in Strength, in order to retain this balance. This card rides into your reading, you'll find yourself hard-pressed to balance everything you feel. Core word here, feel, needs balancing. Oh, you can and will do it, but not for long, but for as long as necessary. Determining what must be balanced brings up another important question. The water over which she rides so furiously should be considered. Water represents motion, and it is the presence of this water that creates the need picture here. She feels that she needs to do this. It is a perceived need, not necessarily a real need. Do a quick reality check in your life. Do you really need to do everything you think or feel you need to? And I kind of struggle with that too. It's like, you know, you could be a bit social, Libra, so maybe you're just taking on way too much. Your balancing act is like, look how great I am at balancing, and then someone puts another ball in each hand. And you're like, I can still balance, and then people are just putting more and more and more on you. And eventually, I mean, you're the master at it, but eventually you will tire. It's not sustainable. And that is more apparent in the growing sense of judgment. Judgment is a major arcana card. So fear not. You were needed to do this. Regardless if you fall off that bike and into the water, you just need a bath. Like, you've been sweating a while riding that bike. You just need to go into the water. So life sort of will kind of cleanse away the things we don't need. And judgment is speaking to that you need to heed a judgment call. You need to do a reality check with what you're doing right now. When the music beats to the rhythm of your heart and echoes the melody of your soul, you can only ignore it for so long. Hearing and heeding a call. Perhaps you're hearing and heeding calls for others, and now you're being called to hear and heed a call within yourself. Here's the secret of this card. You already know what you are supposed to do. If you are honest with yourself, it will be very clear. When this card calls to you in a reading, it's a clear sign that yes, you should do whatever it is that you have been thinking of doing. And in let go position, there's this Queen of Wands. Why are you still sitting there? For goodness sake. Why am I still sitting here? No. Someone who supports and nurtures the will, inspiration, and passions of others. Are you friends with somebody or have a relationship with someone that just really is doing a lot for others and roping you in to do a lot? That could be one way of interpreting it. Or you could have been this Queen of Wands in the past, just nurturing everyone else's passions. And now you're letting go of that, or you need to let go of it. I'm going to read this card fully so you can kind of see the interpretation here for it. So you can decide if it's your energy or if it's somebody else. Someone who supports and nurtures the will of others, inspiration and passions of others. As long as she is in motion, she shines like the sun, drawing people and good luck to her like moths to a flame. She is witty, charming, and warm. Her confidence radiates so strongly that you can feel it in your blood, as if it were your own. Her energy helps you to be your best self. She wants you to be your best self, because she does not want to be surrounded by boring fools. If the action stops, if clever conversation ceases, she clouds over, restless and feeling useless. Because if people aren't moving, aren't sparky, she has nothing to offer. This fact may lead you to believe she is shallow. It would be a mistake to confuse impatience with shallowness. She knows so much and just wants to experience it too. This queen has discovered her inner power, and much like a strong horse, it can carry her almost anywhere she wants to go. Despite outward appearances of the aforementioned shallowness and ego, she's actually more in tune with her intuition than you'd imagine. This is This is one reason she can move forward so confidently. She doesn't doubt her direction because she knows she is guided by something other than her own mind or feelings. Having discovered this fabulous way of life, she has no patience with and no sympathy for those who want to wallow in self-doubt and misery. If you want to move, she'll get you up to speed in no time. If you want to make excuses and whine, she'll spare a moment to give you a killer, withering glance before turning her back on you. If you hurry, you can catch up with her and get her to smile on you again. It would be worth it. So it could speak to somebody roping you into their passions, and then when you do haul back and take your energy, they can just sort of be like, I don't have time for what you're doing unless you're doing what I'm doing. Could be that. Or it could be, like I said, you've been nurturing and feeding off of the passions of others, and that was good for a time. It was exploration. It gained you knowledge, but maybe now you're starting to realize, like, ooh, like passion for others. It was great for a time, but now it's like, what about my passion? So maybe you need to stop balancing for others. You need to put some of that balance back for yourself. You know, this judgment, this growing sense of judgment is feeling the rhythm for yourself. Really feeling the music. It's not that you're going to get up and dance to that song because it's your best friend's song. You know, maybe that's the only time you get up and dance is when you're dancing to other people's favorite song. Maybe it's time for you to get up and talk to the DJ and be like, play my song. You know, DJ, play my song. And for you to dance. And perhaps you're afraid to actually do that because everyone else is used to it. And you feel like, well, if I request a song, metaphorically here, if I request a song, get out and dance, what if nobody likes it and nobody else is dancing? Well, my answer to that is screw it. Dance anyway. Be happy anyway. Maybe they don't get up and dance this time, but maybe in witnessing you dance a few times, maybe it gives them the opportunity to become familiar with the song and then get up and dance for themselves. Remember that just as you were new to jump on other people's passions and it took time for you to excel at it, you have to allow that grace period for other people to be able to meet you in the same way. So perhaps equal give and take here. Otherwise, judgment can kind of lead you to feel like you're always on the negative side of judgment. Like you're always like, oh yeah, the negative side of that is that if you constantly live for other people's passions, you're going to have a buildup of dissatisfaction, which will lead you to be more judgmental of others. Because a lot of times we project a negativity onto that which when we feel like we don't have it. It's like, yeah, I guess it is jealousy. I mean, we all have that. Like, nobody likes to say, oh, I'm a jealous person, that's ugly. But that's bullshit. Every single person in this whole entire world has experienced jealousy or will experience jealousy at some point in their life. And can you see why? If you're always getting out and dealing with other people's passions and balancing for them and seeing them reap the reward, them having that smile, that overwhelmingly burst of joy, and then it's like, yes, you know, you're a good enough person, Libra. You're going to enjoy it for them. But have you not been enjoying yourself? Did I say Virgo? Libra? You got to enjoy it for yourself, Libra, because then you're going to start to feel negative about their happiness. And you don't want to be that person, trust me. And it's not about saying, oh, I'll never be that person. It's, if you reject yourself long enough, it kind of is like, it'll creep up on you. Those thoughts, negativity, that lower vibration. So make time to fuel yourself. Give yourself a reason to shine and feel like you're level and equal with your peers. You're not this, maybe the scale has been, by you focusing on everyone else, it's like they're way up and you're way down, you know? So now you need to like bring it back into balance. And by doing that means you do half the energy you used to do for them. And you retain half the energy for yourself. And yes, that might come with a bit of uncomfortable time period because it's like, oh, I'm a little bit lonelier. But it takes that time, and it's not like you completely reject your other obligations. It's just that you minimize the energies there so you can create a space. And that seems maddening, like when an artist gets there and is about to draw and it's all blank. It could be like, well, what am I going to draw? What am I going to draw? Sometimes just get there and make squiggles. Fill that space, fill that time with the things that you love. And then what will happen is eventually when you have this beautiful art completed, that's when people are going to come in and start enjoying it with you. But they're not going to do it if you give up on yourself. Like, you really, so I think that's what it's saying here. Put some of that balance back in for yourself, Libra. And I'm going to get some clarifying cards on this now for you. Give me something on the Two of Pentacles for Libra, 2022 January, for the highest good. Libra, Two of Pentacles. See? If you stop balancing, well, you're never going to stop balancing, but if you stop balancing for other people's passions, you're going to have so much extra time for yours. Here's these girls getting ready for a celebration, and if you really hold in there and balance, not for others, but balance for yourself, and that can seem like a struggle too for a bit, so you're like, well, what's the difference? I may as well go back to my old pattern, but don't. If you don't, you're going to have these beautiful celebratory times where it's not like you're going to somebody else's party and it's themed the way they want. You're having your own party with your own theme, and in your centered. Like, maybe there's birthdays and celebrations and things. Like, make them your own, Have fun with that. Like, here we see, they're setting up some sort of tent, an event. There's lots of fruit. Got this other girl looking at the card, kind of figuring out what to do. And you got this other girl completely lost and absorbed into her task. So, don't be the one that's questioning whether they should be there or not. Be the one that knows this is your day. This is good for you. Maybe make a daily spiritual practice, like meditate, like constantly, daily, bringing that little piece of celebration for yourself, of yourself, things about yourself. Give me something on judgment for Libra. Something for judgment for Libra. Something for judgment for Libra. Something for judgment. See, the Hangman, that's what I'm saying. It's going to feel very different. You're going to get a very different view on the world when you start prioritizing yourself more. You're going to start to see which people are on board with that, which people, people are always going to kind of like feel a bit weird when you take back your energy in the beginning, so don't really judge first reactions so much, but over time, you begin to see the new pattern. And when you see that, you'll begin to really determine which people are more there for you and which are more worthy of your energy. And that's a beautiful thing. But it's sort of like having a beautiful garden of flowers. You have to pluck the weeds out of it. You can't be like, oh, but the weeds need water and soil and all that too. Like, I can't, get rid of the weeds. But sometimes you have to get rid of the weeds. You have to let them go. You just have to. Because what will happen is the beautiful flowers there that have the right to be there, that you really enjoy, they're going to suffocate and die, and the weeds are going to take all the nutrients from them. And then you don't feel as fulfilled, So again, Libra, make sure you're co-creating your happiness. Yes, you can balance. Balance for yourself. Like, don't always just allow people to come in and soak up your good energy that you've made available. And every sign is guilty of this, Libra. Every sign we have our things we want to lead with, and we're like, here, people, take that energy. And all signs have to learn when to give and when to not. Equal give and take is so important moving into 2022. So we can actually move towards, and we're coming into that Aquarius energy. So for the month of love, February, I mean, there's going to be a lot of socializing, and you really want to start now prioritizing yourself and building those types of relationships up, and getting that new status quo together, so that way you can really make the most of that next month period, that February, that newness. It could be old circles, but yet you're being treated in a whole new way because you're treating yourself different. And yeah, like 8 of Wands, like a lot of messaging. A lot of people are going to be messaging and wanting you to want to go. Like, they're like, all these passions are coming at you. Like, let's do this, Libra, let's do this, Libra. And then you get a call from someone else. Oh, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. And perhaps you're saying in the past, you've been like, yes, yes. And then you realize, oh, I said yes to 2 people, and it's the same day. Perhaps now you're realizing that some of these passions, these 8 of Wands that are flinging around. Yeah, I'm going to use both those cards. They both came up, so I'm going to read them both for you. But 4s are about your no position. They are about stability, structure, organization, and stagnation. So yes, like the old celebratory times you've had are growing stagnant. Maybe you need to put your love, yourself, have situations and friendships and people, connections, you know, stuff that really reflects you. Make that your new status quo. And that'll come with a whole new perspective, like the Hangman. And the Hangman gives you this new perspective. A little shift in perspective, in perception, that's all that was needed. Willing to surrender to an experience or situation. So yeah, you need to surrender to yourself. You need to give your balance, your love. You need to give a lot of that back to yourself. It's not like, hey, everything else, screw it. It's sort of like prioritizing what you know you have to do. Because we don't need to do everything we think we need to do. A lot of times we do stuff for others, we don't need to do it. We want to do it. No relationship should put you in a codependency that says you need to do this for me all the time. You need. If you're not a friend, you're not this, you're not that, you're not worth it. Like, that's not acceptable. You know what I mean? Like, you really got to, traditionally Hangman represents sacrifice and martyrdom. This can be brought to a negative extreme. 10 of Swords, present in the reading. And I did see it kind of make an appearance earlier, but I didn't put it on the thing. So yes, like, you've gone through the fire of all that, so you've sacrificed yourself for others. You have no problem doing that. But have you learned what it means to sacrifice yourself for yourself? Because that's a very different thing. And often, you know, we're just told not to care and value ourselves, really. You know, the world makes it like so. There's always somebody else with a need more important than your own. And it's going to be very foreign to learn how to be like, I'm not available, and then hear their reactions and they don't understand why. Sometimes I don't even want to be unavailable because I'm so used to being available that I've literally had to go against that to rewrite myself, to get to a point where it's like I've been away long enough where it's like the people that are still trying, they must really care because I've kind of gone in, and you're worth the wait. You're worth the wait for your soul tribe, for the people that are really supposed to be there for you. And here in the let go position, we have the 8, which is movement, speed, and power. So all these movements and speeds and powers and passions, like all these people are coming at you with their power, things that feed their power, things that add speed to their life. That, you know, they want you to help so that you'll add power to them. They want you to help so that things will get done quicker for them. They want you to move so they can have movement. See what I'm saying here? You see the... And it's in the let go position, so I'm not jockeying you here, Libras. I'm literally saying that perhaps you've just been so available, and now you're realizing that when people come at you with all these passions, some you want to do, as symbolized here. Like all these passions are flinging out, all these wands, and some are natural, meaning you naturally will want to go for it. Some are fantasistic, meaning they probably don't really, they won't really in reality help you. It's just more of an idea that you just want to entertain because it makes you feel good on a non-real level to do it. But it's not going to benefit you in the real world. Remember that, note that. Then you have one passion that's just sort of, it's like, it looks like it was already on fire and then burnt out. Like, it's burnt out and you really don't want to be, like, you feel obligated when you help that person. And then there's two wands on fire. So it's like, you know, when they're like, here, take my wand, and you go to help them and hold it, it's on fire. It hurts you to do it. So notice how out of all of those 8 wands, only one of them is made of green, like nature. So that means you've been helping 8 wands of things, and only one of them is really worth your time. That means not like one person per se, but only one thing out of what each of those people will ask you is really something you need to do. Not everything they ask you. That is really important to discern. It's not like, oh, I need to cut off the people that, you know, you made yourself available. Don't be bitter. But that's not what I'm trying to say to you here. But I am saying that out of all these obligations people are used to you holding, there's only one little thing now and then that you should, and that you really naturally should be able to do for them. And if that's not good enough for them, literally let them walk away. Because 4 Pentacles, it's again stagnation. You have to let this go. Because that's all about saving money, saving power, saving resources. You've been growing so much in the lessons of other people. You're this wealth of knowledge and balance and emotion. Like, you've been saving all that. And it's, you know, and that, like, you need to feed your creativity, your passion, Libra. What makes you feel good? You know, like, don't just save it all for the rainy day, because often on the rainy days, those are sad days. You're not going to really be happy on the sad days. So it's like, don't save it all for a rainy day, you know? Because that rainy day, when it finally comes time to let it out, it's going to be a sad day. But if you incorporate your passion, your happiness into every day, you're working on yourself daily, so you don't have this big, terrible day now and then where it's like, oh, I'm helping, I'm saving myself, and then one day you realize, I didn't do anything to myself, I'm burnt out, and the people are not even nice about the fact that I need a day, and then because you took that one day for yourself, everyone's so mad at you, and you just have this miserable day. So it's not nice to, you know, a lot of times air signs want to be of service to others. We want to roll with the passions of others. I have Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra in places in my chart. I get that. Like, I love to kind of just blow in and see what people are doing and just sort of pick up that energy and roll with it. But the downside of that is if it becomes the norm, if you always allow people to prioritize over yourself, you lose your own sense of identity and why you're doing it in the first place. And that can be a very dark time, depending on where you hit that. And different people, you know, can hit that earlier in life, and some people hit it middle age, some people hit it later on. Like, it just depends. And often it has a lot to do with your tolerance, and the longer you can go, the worse it's going to be, because that's going to be so much more emotion and things to sort through and to come out. So you really want to kind of develop some sort of daily routine, some sort of meditation, hobby. Just relax. Have this, you know, in the beginning, if you're like, you don't even know what to do with this newfound time, just sort of fill it. Fill it with little bits of things that recall parts of yourself you used to enjoy, or things you think you might enjoy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, make time for these new explorations. You know, 2022 is all about adventure. It's newness. So try to find a new way to feel that happiness within yourself. And here for your star seed, we have the courageous phony, multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. So you've been so courageous in helping everybody else with their passion that I think you're starting to feel like you yourself are a phony. Like you're not real, like you're not valued, like the scale's not balanced for yourself, and that can be a little bit terrifying for a Libra to be like, well, how can I not balance for myself when I'm balanced, like I'm good at balancing. Just because we're good at balancing and we've been balancing for others doesn't mean that it's going to be great for ourselves. Often from trauma or people with the words they say to keep you in these codependent relationships, often, valuing ourselves could be the biggest thing. And it takes a lot of courageousness. And you're so courageous for other people. You're multifaceted. You're able to go with the flow. But maybe you want to know what it's like for people to go with your flow for once. The courageous phony. I hope I'm saying that right. Yes, I have to. The courageous phony. I mean, when people hear the word phony, they're like, oh, it must be a bad card, but no. Sometimes you can be so courageous about something misplaced that it makes you a phony. Because courage is not the absence of fear. It's going ahead in spite of fear. So, someone who seems courageous, you might be like, oh, they have no fear. But then someone else could be like, no, they're phony. They have fear. They're just doing it anyway. So, like, there's duality there is what I'm trying to say. This one's going to be hard to find, isn't it? That's okay, just because it's the hardest to find. Sometimes it's the hardest thing to find yourself, but once you find it, man, it's going to be amazing. Libra, like, oh, you have so much to offer the world, Libra. You really do. Just so much. Just immense. Like, you need to allow yourself to be courageous for yourself. Oh my gosh, I cannot find this card. What is wrong? If I flip through the book more than 3 times, I'm worried. You can tell it's a retrograde. And by that I mean, it's the time of the year when mistakes, misspelled things, like brain farts. It's like things go wrong, technology stops working properly. Just a lot of things. Maintenance is off. See, this is my 4th time flipping through it. Please. Please. Normally it doesn't take this long. If it takes much longer, I'm going to have to sing a song to fill the silence. Oh no. Please, 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 please. I swear. Okay, here. Whew! That made me sweat, Libra. Thank you for still being here. Whew. The courageous phony, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. Maybe that's why Libra is the things I bury things. Maybe sometimes I can be a bit of a phony, like by constantly living for others or through others, or it's sort of like I'm not being true to myself. I'm courageous enough to go out and explore an adventure, but sitting with myself can sometimes be the hardest thing. And that's probably the thing you need to do. That's why a lot of times I really enjoy just making art and content, because a lot of times, especially starting out, there's nobody there. So it's like, it really is my own time to come into my own, and people can enjoy it and come along for that journey and be inspired by it, or they can kind of just witness it and just go on their way. It's all up to everyone, right? The courageous phony, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. Flowers don't open and close according to who walks by. They embrace all of what they are and show it to the world around them. The phony doesn't try to compete with the cherry blossom, and the cherry blossom doesn't try to compete with the tulip. They own what they are and trust the timing of their true nature. You're being called to do the same. It's time to open yourself up to being seen. Time to share your incredible, multifaceted, true nature with the world around you. To uncover and reveal your soul's greatest gifts without wavering. To own your uniqueness without apology. There's a flower on this planet that holds the same qualities that your soul is readying itself to express. Let it inform you. You may have been taught that it's safer to keep your light hidden and your voice small, to hide behind the bushes instead of growing tall. The courageous phony is here to remind you that it's safe to embody all of who you truly are. It's safe to share your voice and let yourself be seen. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, and you may be afraid of what others think. But with each passing day, it does become easier. Little by little, you realize that it draws in those who are meant for you, and experiences you've been longing for arrive at your feet. Starseed Soul Inquiry. How are you being called to allow yourself to be more visible and seen in the world? How are you being called to allow yourself to be more visible and seen in the world, Libra? Because you might be going out and socializing and physically people are looking at you, but are you being seen? Like, this is a different concept here. It's that of not going with the flow. And now in the world, we are working together, but we are understanding that by working together, we can only truly work together by being individuals who come together and work together. It's about the differences that make up the whole. Like your body, if you look at it, yes, it's a body. But the body isn't just the body. It's made up of different parts. Same way as society and people. We're all people. We're all human. We're all this and that. But at the heart of it all, we are all unique. And we need to be seen in 2022. So maybe start an art project or a hobby or a talent, something that's really you and makes you feel good and special. Like, not something you think other people will like. Excuse me. Not something you think other people will like. Something you love. And then shine that love out into the world. And then the world will be more attracted to that. Maybe not everyone in the world, but the people that really are in love with the things you're in love with, they are going to notice and they're going to flock to you. And that's going to be so much better because you won't just be looked at. You'll be seen. That's beautiful. Like, if you resonate with this, Libra, slow and steady. Don't get impatient. Balance. Balance for yourself. And balancing for yourself is going to feel like once you take a look there, you're going to be like, whoa, the scales are off. I may as well go back to what's easier, what I've been balancing before. But in order to have true balance within yourself and in your life, you really do need to maybe go into that uncomfortable phase of sort of with yourself, like this hangman, like this awkwardness. Allow yourself to be awkward with yourself so then you can master yourself and put balance back into yourself. Because Libra, you deserve to have your voice heard. And with that, love you, Libras. I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I really hope, I just hope you enjoyed it in general. And if you liked it, like, thumbs up, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, share, comment, and thank you. Thank you always for your time. Thank you, Libra, so much. A little bit warm. So how are we feeling? Take a little moment of silence for myself, just to collect my thoughts for a minute while I wait for the timestamp time. Hello, Gemini. You see my little card there. Hi, Geminis. So I have Gemini. Just break out my astrology chart. This is printed out from Astrology Cafe online. And I believe I have Gemini. I have Gemini and Mars. And I also have Gemini in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8th house. Eighth house is the area of emotional security and of security of the soul. Gemini in my 12th house, if she is a writer, a painter, or involved in another of the arts, and if fame doesn't come when living, then it will come posthumously. Small inheritances from near relatives. Take care of lungs. If a smoker, then it's advisable to stop. Okay, that's what it says. And then I have Gemini in Mars. Mars, the war planet of energy and motivation. And that is in Mars. Mars represents the desire for action and physical energy. Mars is in Gemini. That's probably why physically I can either be a cheetah or a sloth. It's like sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm off, sometimes I'm sociable, sometimes I'm not. I like to think that keeps me balanced. You know, for a perspective in general, but it can make my life chaotic because I can provide certain consistencies and inconsistencies there. Mars is a planet that rules our drive and passions. In the mutable air sign of Gemini, Mars is a little scattered and unfocused. Easily bored, Mars and Gemini natives need a fresh change of pace frequently just to keep energy levels up. Yeah, I have many rods in the fire at one time. It's a somewhat odd thing, really. When there's nothing much to do, these natives are exhausted. But there's plenty of interesting things on their agenda. Mars and Gemini natives can be powerhouses, more than most people. These individuals have physical reaction to boredom. Besides possessing a passion for words, when Mars and Gemini natives get angry or fired up, they use words as a weapon. Angry words, some of the most insensitive and sarcastic ones, can fly around with the more energetic natives. Others simply talk things through energetically. Whatever the case may be. Yeah, I say I don't like to be really mean. I don't like to go there, but I'll definitely talk energetically to the point where people will be like, "You're not meaning that towards me." And I'll be like, no, I'm, with my Pisces and everything, I just need to express it. I just need to get it out and like, it's like verbal diarrhea. I just need to get it out. It's like I need to talk myself through it. Be like, I need to feel the emotion of all this crap I'm talking about. Whatever the case may be, Mars and Gemini natives need to get everything off their chest when they're fired up. In fact, debates are Mars and Gemini's specialty. These natives draw on their sharp wit to win arguments. In general, they can be talkative sorts, sometimes bordering on verbal diarrhea. Those whose charts show up more reserved only become chatty when they're worked up about something or another. I'm chatty all the time, so I'm worked up all the time because I have placements in all my charts. So everything makes me chatty. Which would be probably hard to grow up with me. As a child, like parents, they're like, why this, why that? Like I'm such a chatterbox. And like not ready to accept what they said either. Like I challenge what they said. I'd be like, are you sure? How do you know that? What about this way? You know what I mean? Those whose charts show more reserved become chatty when they're worked up about something or other. Some people with the position of Mars are quite fidgety. I was always moving or rocking. They have much nervous energy. In general, their nervousness and restlessness are at the root of plenty of physical ups and downs. When they're on edge, they can be nitpicky. Many Mars and Gemini natives channel their energy through their hands. Or my mouth. Hands or mouth, something's moving, no matter what. And when I'm not talking and I'm just passively listening or watching TV, I used to chew my nails and like I have to get out of that habit, so I am very much a multitasker. I have to be doing something while doing something, so I'm not bored. Gemini, after all, rules the hands, and these people often express energy through musical instruments and like even video games. Yes, I'm a gamer, and I love instruments. Like I can play a lot of it. And I have really good hand-eye coordination. Many are attracted to puzzles and games as diversions. These natives are very adaptable, often thriving on change. They often take up many projects at once, spreading themselves thin at times. But my Pisces kind of is like, oh, I've got too much on the go. All right, I'll just drop it all, and I'll just go on my own dream world for a bit. So I need to hold myself accountable with actually staying consistently busy and not just sort of being like, all right, I'm just gonna say. So it's like naturally I've kind of like picked up on that, and then I just would like drop the ball. But I gotta learn that life, people like consistency. You have to post consistently, do things, some things consistently. Yes, you can take a break, but not to the level I do. Like sometimes I'll take a break and then I'll convince myself there's a million other reasons to stay on vacation, basically. They often take up many projects at once, spreading themselves thin. Sustained interest is not easily common with this position of Mars. Most will benefit from attempting to focus their energy rather than scattering them. However, yeah, I need to work on focusing. However, their versatility and disdain for routine generally means Mars and Gemini natives are busy people. Okay, so that's a little tidbit about me for those who are interested. I figured I'd share that with you, Geminis. So yes, I get the Gemini energy. Alright, so Gemini. Oh, this card popped up, but I didn't even set my intention yet. Gemini 20. Look, another card popped out. And yeah, I've been talking about some Gemini for so long. Okay. Well, the Queen of Pentacles made an appearance. She's been popping up all night. Gemini, you the queen. You the queen. Okay, let's be serious now. Alright, oh my goodness, I haven't even set my intention and the cards are like flying out. Is this like a Gemini? Am I having a Gemini moment with the retrograde? Retrogrades kind of make mistakes happen. It's like, oh, it's like I haven't even set my intention yet, and then the cards are playing out like, here. I'm gonna do the opposite of what you want. Kind of thing. Alright. Seriously. Serious now. Okay. Gemini. You know what, I'm going to set my intention before I shuffle because the cards are active for you right now. They're flinging out like air. Okay, so Gemini, growth and release, 3-card spread with clarifying cards as well as a starseed card for January 2022 for their highest good. And a card popped out right away. Need I say more? But sometimes you just gotta do something differently in order to get it the way you want it. You have to roll with what the world is giving you. Sometimes you can't decide. Or sometimes you can't. You gotta roll with it. Geminis know. You know what I'm talking about. Highest good. Oh. The King of Pentacles made appearance twice. The Emperor, 3 of Cups, the Tower. Seven of Cups, living in a fantasy, having a lot of options. Sometimes we'll try to bring a person into our lives because they represent a fantasy, but the fantasy is the only thing really giving us anything. The reality is they're not giving us nothing. So maybe that's like something maybe that you might need to hear, Gemini. For some Geminis, there's just a message there. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Nine of Cups, Knight of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. A lot of messages here for you, Gemini. Oh my goodness, of Lovers. 7 of Wands. A lot. A lot of. 7 seems to be a recurring number, so I'm going to look up that number, what it means for you in a minute. Alright, Gemini, highest good. Gemini, highest good. you got a lot going on, don't ya? Oh my goodness. We got the lovers again, Nine of Wands, and the Thief, Seven of Swords. Oh my goodness. Gemini. I think I was supposed to start with Gemini and then do Libra and Aquarius, but for some reason I thought I had to do Aquarius first, so in the order I wrote it here, I went backwards. So maybe Gemini are giving me a bit of, you're like, I had to go last. Now I want a bunch, I want a bunch of messages. I need to know. Okay, yeah, like my physical energy is Gemini, so that's why the cards are probably going nuts right now. They're like, because I'm like in my energy, physical energy. Oh my goodness. Okay, focused. Gemini 2022, January, highest good. Okay, at least one card came out, so I'm gonna go with it, no matter what. High Priestess. Okay. Alright, let's do it. And a star seed for my Gemini. Gemini growth and release. Whoa, cards. Growth and release spread. 2022, January for highest good. Gemini. Even shuffling these cards, it was like one pulling out, and that never happens with this deck. I should have looked at it just to see out of curiosity what one was playing out. But I didn't, so. The void, stop, embrace the winter, great cosmic womb. Sagittarius had this one in the fire signs. I'm not going to read it for you because I want a variety, but check out Saggy. Check out Saggy's read. Could be something there for you to have a message there. The end of Saggy's reading has the explanation of this card. So the void, check out Sagittarius's reading, the fire sign. Could be a hint there. But this one's for you. Jump in. And Andromedan energy. Stay. Say yes to change. Jump in. It's like somebody is jumping in to a cosmic eye. Going for a swim in their third eye. Or something. It looks really cool. It's a really cool card. Alright, let's do jump in. But check out that other card, because if that card has a little bit more, like, wow, you got one card that was like stop, embrace the womb, like the dark, like, you know, the darkness. And that card explains how being in your mother's womb, like, it's a safe place, but sometimes we fear the not doing anything. So depending on you, Gemini, for me, I've been stopped for a while, so I probably need to jump in. So if you're a Gemini that just hasn't been yourself lately, or has been jumping into things for other people and you haven't been doing enough for yourself, you're building your own identity, maybe you need to jump into yourself, your third eye, like have some meditation or some artistic fulfillment within yourself or a hobby. So there's a duality there. So check out Sagittarius' reading, the end of it, for the void, for a description on that card. It should be there on my channel. So I'm going to get into this. So you had a lot of sevens pop out earlier, so sevens are reflection and assessment. So do a lot of reflecting and assessment. Take some time. Do that reflecting and assessment within the darkness of the womb. Like get some clarity there. Like take a break from the world. And then when you're ready and you've done that reflection assessment, then get ready to jump in to the new. So it's like a slow stop and appraisal to then go for the next shiny thing for yourself. And then we have 8. 8 is movement, speed, power. So it's in a no position. So you know you've been moving and making movements. You know you have the speed necessary. Things have been going quickly in your life. You have a lot of power because you've witnessed a lot of things. You've developed a lot of skills in those experiences. So now you're called upon in 2022 to have a new adventure within yourself, to be able to share. I think that's what I'm seeing here. Like, take a brief reprieve, know yourself and the you want to be, so that while you're traveling, you can be a bit better. And then 2s are duality, balance, relationships, and choices. So it's a growing need for duality and having balance within yourself, so that your inner self, you know who that is. So then you can attract things in your environment. And then that is a reflection of who you are. And it feels so much better. The relationships that come there, the choices you have are always yeses. They're more fulfilling. They're more available. The world is more available there when you are living from within out rather than out than in, you know? So you've done a lot of outside exploration. Now you need to do some inside exploration, so that way when you go back out into the world, and like for next month, February, and love and all that, and you're busy again, you really, really kind of know what it is you want, need, will accept, won't, all those things. As being a sign that does a lot of movement, I think you're needing to do some TLC, to be like, okay, how do I feel about all that? What do I like, what do I not like, so you can travel a little bit better. The 2 of Swords is la la la, I can't hear you, just a bit occupied at the moment, please go away. A conflict between heart and mind. Often, and I will read this one to you so you understand. An unsettling blend of gracefulness and tension, she balanced delicately between the water and the moon, keeping her swords aloft. Although artfully, this activity takes up all her time and energy, the swords representing her reason and her logic, as well as the stories she tells herself about her life, require constant attention. Her environment is comprised largely of water, symbolic of her subconscious and the moon. Also connected with the darker aspects of the self, no wonder she prefers a blindfold. She is not caught between a rock and a hard place, quite the opposite. She is dangling between water and air. Eventually she will tire, and something will give way. She will have to take off the blindfold, take stock of her situation, and make a decision. For now, though, she is doing remarkably well, ignoring her situation. If you are feeling between and betwixt the 2 of Swords, you will probably show up in your reading. It lets you know that while you may feel like you are doing everything you can, you actually are spending too much energy accomplishing nothing. You are keeping busy and distracted while time passes, hoping that the situation will resolve itself. Cease for a moment, breathe, let your thoughts stop flailing. Take a look at where you are. Yes, you may have to face some fears or admit some unpleasant circumstances. You'll have to decide where you want to go and then figure out how to get there. It'll probably be less exhausting and more productive. Or keep holding your pose, whatever works for you. Okay, so between air and water, so you spend so much time fluttering around like a beautiful butterfly and going all these places that perhaps you've skipped the caterpillar phase. Like, maybe now you need to kind of like go back into a little bit of a cocoon and nourish yourself and assess all the different options you have. Yeah, emotion. So it's like, are you riding the current airwave and you're not really um, following your own emotion, your own heart, what really feeds you and fuels you. That's something to consider there. The High Priestess is a major arcana card, and it's in the let go position. The High Priestess is, she's completely batty, I tell you. Didn't say a word the whole time, just sat there smiling at me. Something that can only be understood through experience. So you know you needed to experience things through experience, so that's why you went out to the world to experience things. You know? And maybe now, excuse me. And maybe now, you know, it could have seemed a bit maddening just going with the flow and always being surprised. Maybe that typically is good for you. But maybe in the world now, it's like doing that doesn't really help you in the way things are now. So now you know that in order to move more and have more fun and get back to a sort of life, you probably do need to have a new way of doing that. And that comes with a time of reflection. Long, dark tea time with the soul is not always fun. But it's necessary. Like, I think you've been keeping yourself distracted and you've been putting off making a decision for yourself, your career, your identity, or just some sort of way that whatever it is that you're distracting yourself from, and you know, and you tell yourself one thing with this sword and tell yourself something with this sword, and there's one idea way of people seeing it, another way of people seeing it, and then you're just kind of like, well, if I just float in between, I'm everywhere and nowhere, and maybe that was good for you. I know that's in the growing position, so that growing awareness, it's created a lot of power and speed and momentum in the no position. You're letting go of something that needs to be understood through experience. So maybe you're understanding that you don't always have to experience everything to know what's good for you or to go where you really want to go. Maybe that's going to be. But let's get some clarifying cards for you here. Give me something on the 8 of Wands. 3 of Pentacles. Give me something on the 2 of Swords for Gemini. 2 of Swords. Something on the High Priestess. Something on the High Priestess. And that goes. Okay. So, the 3 of Pentacles. Threes are creativity and nurturing. So yeah, you need to get back to your own creativity, nurturing yourself. Really sit with yourself to figure out what that is for yourself. If this is resonating with you, Gemini. 3 of Pentacles is why does it what does it take to create a thing of substance and beauty? A goal is manifesting. He consults his schematics for details about setting the final pinnacle. The oracle searches the cards for nuances of wisdom, and the craftswoman heeds their advice until she feels the material response to her touch. This is the team tasked with creating this cathedral. Union spirit with the physical, the glory divine casts the stone cast in stone and glass, the engineer with his detailed and precise designs represents the logic and science required to ensure that such a grand undertaking holds together and does not collapse under the weight of its own dreams. The oracle connects with the soul of the divine and brings the inspiration and vision and the passion that gives the creation life. The craftswoman uses strong but sensitive hands, finds and releases the divine living within the materials, bringing the structure, form, and the realm of imagination to the plane of reality. Together they create extraordinary magic. While this card can often does indicate working together as a team to produce something, it can also be metaphoric. We all have within us the ability to be inspired, to acquire knowledge, and to gain skills and experiences. When we combine all three of these, we usually create our own best work. This can therefore be a reminder to rely on a balanced approach to projects. If this card appears in your reading, whatever you are working on has the potential to be something more than adequate. All the elements are there, whether within you, within yourself, or in the team. And you are working with to make something that will make you proud. If the Magician appears with this card, it suggests a solitary undertaking. I do see that it's in a no position, and coming up with the Aquarius birthdays in February, now into February, it's a time of like, there's lots of passions going on, friendships, things you could be going towards, and you could be a little bit not knowing what to decide to go for, like it could be in between decisions, what to do. But you really know what really, if you look inside to your heart, and that's what the Three of Wands here is suggesting, you'll be able to know what you truly want and to manifest it. The Three of Wands is all about waiting for your ships to come in. It's all about manifesting the law of attraction. So when we're doing our greatest good, we're attracting our highest good. And in let go position, we have a 9. 9 is compromise, possible stagnation, cessation. This 9 of Cups come in and welcome. Your every desire will be served with a warm smile. Order carefully. Material, emotional, physical well-being. So yes, understanding that the cup you choose is the cup you get. Order carefully. Like, the world is giving you whatever you want. So wherever you're going to get what you want. Or you're going to get something. But maybe this card in the let go position is letting you realize, like, if you go anywhere, you're going to get some things. But you're not going to get your greatest wish by just simply having experiences. Sometimes you need to follow your heart. You need to use the law of attraction to manifest what you really want. The people, the circumstances, the ideas. You know, you kind of really have to stay in your own identity. It can be a little bit challenging when you have so many options, but it would be worth your time. You don't want to let go of that wish for yourself, to simply go for experiences and kind of wait for the wish to happen. Like, don't be caught up in that if this is resonating with you. So, I'm going to read Jump In. Jump in. Just jump right in. And please go back and watch The Void in Sagittarius' reading. The end of Sagittarius' reading, I read The Void. So, I think that goes hand in hand, but I didn't want to read the same message twice within 1 month period. So if I do see a card, I usually see it like, hey, go check out Sagittarius reading, as it might be something in your chart. You might have Saggy in it, or you could know a Saggy, or the card in general you need to hear, and perhaps their reading in hand-to-hand with the card might be something you need to hear. So jump in, figure out, take some time in the void, then jump right in when you get out. So sort of like she was, so it's like if you were in the, like the black of the cosmos, like the darkest black hole. And then there's no distractions. You can really sit with yourself. That can be sometimes scary, but then when you come out of it, you'll really know who you are. And that's when this portal opens up, this like third eye in the sky. And then you jump in and have that new dream. So in order to have a dream, sometimes you need to get quiet within yourself to figure out what your dream is. Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. So going into that dark void within yourself might feel like, you know, might feel like a really not a great change. But understand that you have to kind of go there to know what to jump for next. So say yes to change. So see it as another change, another experience. Andromeda is a spiral galaxy, the closest galaxy to the Milky Way. It's believed that Andromedan starseeds are a group of beings who love their freedom. Very adaptable, they have strong willingness and ability to change and go with the flow, to find calm in the chaos, to swim with the tides. This card is here to encourage you to do the same. Perhaps you have a significant goal or opportunity ahead of you. If so, you're being guided to jump in. Don't wait for permission. Don't stall until you feel ready. Take a deep breath, a good old run-up, and jump right on in. Life bends for the courageous, and the courageous is what you're being called to be. And courageous is what you're being called to be. You're already facing the right direction. The only thing left to do is leap. You'll figure out the details as you go along. Things may not always be smooth sailing. Life on Earth rarely is. However, it's the rougher seas that teach us how to sail with glory. And once you know that, you can navigate any sea, ocean, or storm. The Andromedans want you to fall in love with surfacing the waves of your life. Andromedans want you to fall in love with the surfacing waves of life. To seek more adventures, to embrace your own adaptability, and find a way to be the calm in the chaos. You didn't come to Earth to be passive. You came to Earth to truly live. Now take a good run-up and leap. Starseed Soul Inquiry. How can you be more adventurous? How are you being called to jump on in and leap? So how can you be more adventurous, Gemini? How are you being called to jump right on in and leap? So yeah, for some Geminis, you've been in this void for a while, and you're ready and you know what you're jumping for. Some Geminis need to take a break from their status quo to sort of, to really understand what they need to jump into. And you know there are possibilities with this grouping here. It's not like you're lonely. Like, there are people here that want to start projects with you. Like, you have resources available. You just have to recognize who to reach out to. So if you already know that, jump in when you're ready. After really understanding what it is you want to do with it. If you know, jump in. If you don't, take some time with yourself to really assess or reflect. That's what I'm seeing here. That's beautiful, Gemini. It seems like you're going to have a full year 2022. It's going to be a lot of success, a lot of things that you're going to be doing, and projects undertaking. And it's going to be what you want. Like, really keep that daily spiritual practice, whatever it is. Meditating, just doing a hobby you like, something that relaxes you, something that makes you feel productive, makes you feel special or talented. Just do something and focus on that. Be happy when there's nothing to be happy about. Really allow yourself to be filled with that higher vibration to attract your ships coming in. Shine that light bright so that the ship knows which port to come to. So that's what I got for you, Gemini. I love you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that reading. And I will see you next time. I hope you guys hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. It helps me to go on helping you in like, it basically just lets YouTube know you like the video and want more of it. And that's good. I'm going to keep posting whether I get anything or not, but it's always nice to know that you are valued when you are. I'm not doing this to be valued. I'm doing this to show my value. It's up to others if they value it or not. And same thing for you Geminis. Like, you can only be yourself. And how people are with that, that's their problem. Good or bad, that's their problem. You don't have to change for anybody. You only need to change for yourself. And that's only if you want to change something. But change is a constant. So it's better to roll with it than to go against it sometimes. So, love you, Gemini. Have a great night. I will see you next time. Thank you. Sorry about all the noise for the end of you guys' video, and if that messed with the meditation. My boyfriend came home and probably didn't realize I was filming. But yeah, next time I'll make sure there's not so much extra sound. But thank you guys. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.